to produce goods and services. Physical capital. Tangible items. To increase productivity. To increase productivity. Then we also have human capital. Knowledge and skills. And skills. People acquired to increase. To increase productivity. Increase productivity. And then entrepreneurial ability. Abilities, talent, and ability. To combine above 3 factors of production. To produce goods and services. Goods and services. Let's go next page. Resources are relatively plentiful in our country. In all countries, false. Resources are relatively evenly distributed in all countries. False. Resources are relatively scarce in all countries. Or are they identical in all countries? Okay, well, plentiful in all countries is false. Identical in all countries is false. So it's B or C, relatively evenly distributed. No. It has to be scarce in all countries. They are scarce in all countries. What am I saying? Bro, who the hell would want their own franchise? Scarcity, definitely. A condition that results from the inability of limited resources to satisfy unlimited wants. A condition that results from the inability of limited resources to satisfy unlimited wants. They must be allocated among competing uses. If aluminum is used to produce a can of soda, it cannot be simultaneously be used to make the hood of a car. True. But it still is though, isn't it? I think so. I think so. That's it. Okay. See, next thing. Chapter 2. Oh, chapter 1, part 2. Jesus Christ. How long is this, bro? I sure hope it's not that long. Oh my god. Alright, that's fine. It's like 50 slides. But what can I do, bruh? You got this? Dude, it's like 50 slides, bro. You said a rib, bro? Yeah. Rip.
50 slides for homework is illegal.
It actually isn't. I mean, I'm just writing notes down. I don't have to be doing this, but I want to. I have to. I'm gonna have to anyway.
got to go, remember me, bro.
Alright, I'll remember you, bro. Hey Siri, what does forego mean?
Forego is an archaic term. It means precede in place or time. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
Omit or decline to take something. No. Oh my god. Don't call him. Hey Siri, what does forego mean?
Forego means omit or decline to take something pleasant or valuable.
Hold up.
Without.
What?
Forego means omit or decline to
There's
take.
there's two different words? Hey Siri, what is forego? Precede in place. Forego means to precede in place or time, while forego. What's the pronunciation difference there? Forego means to abstain from or do without. What is that? What? Bro. The value of the next best foregone alternative. The value of the opportunity that you gave up when you chose one activity. I guess so. Thank you, Siri. You receive $100 for your birthday. You either spend it on a jacket or a concert ticket, but not both because they cost the same, or one costs $95 in this case. In which case, $5 would not be enough to buy the other item. If you buy the jacket, the opportunity cost of the jacket, the entertainment value of the concert you didn't attend. If you buy the jacket, the opportunity cost of the jacket is the entertainment value of the concert you didn't attend. Okay. Spending on a DVD is the lunch that you give up. Going to college for a year is not just the tuition, books, and fees, but also the wages earned as a professional athlete you give up on. Seeing movies, not just the price of the ticket, but the time you could have spent studying. Hanging out with friends is the time you've given up to play your PlayStation. Rational assumptions for... Buddy, these are a lot of assumptions, man. Assumptions for decision making. These will be self-interest, marginal decision making, what does that mean? Or optimization. Assumptions for decision making, self-interest, optimization, marginal decision making. All right. So self-interest is the idea that people choose to do things that interest them. We have marginal decision making. The process of making choices in increments. By evaluating the additional or marginal benefit against the additional or marginal cost of action. The process of making choices in increments process of making the decisions and making choices in increments by evaluating the additional or marginal benefit against the additional or marginal costs. This is probably, it's honestly just like constantly marginally seeing the marginal cost gains from decisions. You can spend 1 more hour between studying or messaging your friends. You compare the benefit of a little more study with its cost. Your benefits: high grade, costs, time spent on studying. The additional 1 hour is the marginal change. You've made a rational decision here. Hope so. Rational decision considers the relative scarcity of resources. Is the best decision for a person. Is the option chosen. Results from the comparison of marginal benefit and marginal cost. That's D. Was one more unit of activity. Marginal benefit. This additional benefit associated with one more unit of an activity. Marginal cost. The additional cost associated with one more unit of an activity. Decision rule. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, dude. Yes, I do. Of course I do. Guys, I'm playing GD. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, guys? The various combination of goods that can be produced is listed in a table called a production possibility schedule. PPF, a graph that shows the possible combinations of two different goods or services that can be produced with fixed resources and technology. The PPF shows a production combination that are both attainable and efficient. Possibility frontier. Definitely spelled that wrong. Can you scratch? Alright. PPF. A red line represents various combinations of goods that can be produced. Assuming resources fully utilized. Represents boundary between output levels that are possible and output levels that are impossible. Combinations in the green interior to the left are possible but inefficient. Possible but inefficient. PPF. So red line is optimized, isn't it? It's optimized, bro. Possible but inefficient, so. Possible but inefficient. Combinations that are impossible with current resources and technology. The slope of the line represents the trade-off and hence opportunity cost. Yeah, because it's trade-off 1 for 1. That's right. This is trade-off and opportunity cost. So option 1 is 100. Hold on, turn this off. Alex's option 1 is 0 apples, 300 oranges. 0 apples, 300. Option 2 is 50, 150. Interesting. Option 3 is 100 apples, 0 oranges. Possible and efficient is that line. Possible and inefficient is the other line. So, efficiency. Efficiency. Claire's production function is 0 apples to option 1, 0 apples, 200 oranges. Option 2, 100 apples, 100 oranges. Option 3, 200 apples, 0 oranges. That's a completely linear function too. It's good to think about. So that's... Hold on, how come hers is bigger? It goes up to 400 or 350. I guess that's the max I want to put it at. Okay. What are you saying? 150, 450, 30, 50. Not sure what that's checking out. More examples. Consider you have 6 hours in one night to study for 2 exams, history and economics. Your 6 hours is the resource, and your grades for each is your output production. Can you draw a similar PPF with econ grades on the axis and history grades on the other axis? The production possibility frontier PPF illustrates which of the following concepts? Unattainable point only, opportunity cost, decreasing opportunity cost, attainable point only. No, this is going to be the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost example. What is the cost of producing an apple for Alex? Using production possibility frontier. Using production possibilities frontier to find the opportunity cost. Recall, what was opportunity cost? In our example from the previous slide, there are only 2 goods. The only cost we have to consider is the production the only cost we have to consider is the opportunity cost. In this case, the production of apples means giving up the chance to produce oranges. So, how many oranges does Alex give up when he decides to produce one more apple? Move from option 1 to option 2. 50 more apples means giving up blank oranges. Means giving up 100 oranges. Going from 300 down to 50. To get 50 apples, you give up 150 oranges. This can be reduced down to gaining 1 apple for every 3 oranges given up. That's right. 1 apple for every 3 oranges given up. Move from option 2 to option 3. 50 more apples means giving up 150 oranges. The trade-off is the same, as we have a situation with constant opportunity costs. What homework you doing? I'm doing microeconomics homework. What is the cost of producing an apple for Alex? 1 to 3. 3 oranges. 1 orange. Increasing opportunity cost. Yeah, baby. The law of increasing opportunity costs. 619, bro. Definition. So, anytime on chat, TTS.
Yoga.
TTS. What is wrong with these people, bro? Bro said, can I scratch? What is wrong with these people? Like, no one prompted him to say that. You just thought that was a good thing to say or something. A principle in economics if that holds that because resources are better suited to producing one good or service than then another, as the production of a good increases, the opportunity cost of each additional cost of each additional unit rises. A principle in economics that holds that because resources are better suited to producing one good or service than another, as the production of a good increases, the opportunity cost of each additional unit rises, which means their prices are probably going to go higher too. That makes sense. That makes sense, bro. Michael's production possibilities. Discuss why the opportunity cost for a society increases when moving up or down the production possibilities frontier. Discuss why the opportunity costs for society increase when moving up or down the production, the PPF. In this case, the opportunity cost is going to gauge up or down because you're at more extremities with the products that you're selling. Once you move up, if you move up, you'll have more oranges, less apples. As you move down, you'll have more apples, less oranges. So that means there's going to be a higher opportunity cost between two businesses, as there's going to be an even wider gap if you go more apples and oranges from each other. there's just gonna be a bigger gap is what it's gonna be. There's an equilibrium once you hit 217. Once you hit 150, there's a better equilibrium, which means the opportunity benefits and the opportunity costs are going to equal the same. But these are extremities once you're going down, up and down the graph, or the diagram, the graph, whatever. Answer. When examining a PPF for a country, several items are fixed, such as technology and the quantity and quality of resources. This produces a situation where scarcity of resources forces choice. When a society makes a choice to produce more wind turbines, it must transfer some resources away from the production economies. Thus, fewer cars are produced as more. That's what I was saying. There's a bigger gap between the products and the rate that products will be produced. More and more resources that are excellent at producing cars are transferred to wind turbine producers. The waste associated with inefficient production leads to increasing opportunity costs. Yes, if that business goes downhill, there's even more loss if you would have taken the route producing cars. As a result, the opportunity cost of producing more wind turbines increases as more are produced. And that could be even more opportunity benefit or opportunity costs. Jane likes to work at the gym. And below is her schedule of time spent at the gym and our quiz grades in economics. What does this tell us? So week 1, you have 3 hours of gym. Quiz grade is 85%. Week 2, 4 hours of gym, 80%. Week 3, 5 hours, 72. Week 4, 6, 7, 62. So as the more she's working at the gym, more hours she's working, the lower her quiz grades it will be. Jane's opportunity cost of the 4th hour spent at the gym is a 4% decrease in quiz grade. Well, that is definitely not a 4%. Actually, is that from 72 to 62? Is that 4%? What is 4% of 72? Hey Siri, what is a 4% of 72? No, it's not. So that's lying. Jan is experiencing constant opportunity costs. Jan is experiencing increasing opportunity costs. Or Jan is experiencing decreasing opportunity costs. Let's look at that. Well, the hours at the gym is constant. It's going down by 1 each time. It's going up by 1 each time. The quiz grade goes from 85 to 80, which is 5. 80 to 72 is 8. So already there's no constant. So that constant answer is wrong. There is an increasing opportunity cost in this case. So I'll go with C. Okay. Circular flow. All right. What's a circular flow model?
Which is a circular flow diagram or circular flow model, which essentially shows how the economy that we know of works. So it is a model of the economy that shows how dollars are flowing through markets among households and firms. And again, I will be talking about what we mean by households and firms in a bit. Now, the circular flow diagram also shows how the goods and services that we buy are being produced and also essentially bought in the economy. In a nutshell, the circular flow diagram shows how the economy operates. Now, there are 2 types of actors or players in this given diagram. You have households, which are people like us, and then you have firms, typically known as businesses. Then you have 2 markets where goods and services are being bought and sold. Then you also have market for the factors of production, which I will be getting in the next slide.
In an economy, the circular flow model as a model of the economy, and shows how dollars flow through markets, among households and firms. It also shows flow of goods and services. Produced and bought in the economy. So the two markets are as follows. We have the market for goods and services, which is called the product market. And then you also have the market for factors of production, which we call the resource market. And these are the two markets that make up the circular flow model. The circular flow model is a model that concisely describes how goods, services, resources, and money, flow back and forth in an economy. It is a model of an economy that shows how dollars flow through markets among households and firms. The two types of markets are the market for goods and services, which is called the product market, goods and services, and then the market for factors of production, which is the resource market, the product market, the resource market. So here we go. Here's a circular model. Good diagram. Follow up with that. The circular flow model. Here we have resources. We also have the market. Here we have the household. And then there's also the product market. And then the firms, which is on the other end of the model. So we go from household to market. Resources go from resources go to household. Okay, let's go from the very top. The resource goes to the households. The households the product goes into the household. Then the household goes to the market again. Then from the market, it goes to the firms. Then the firm go to the product. They obviously output the product, and then the market goes to the firms, and at the same time, the firms is contributing to the resources. So we have the resources go to the households go to the market goes to the firms, and the firms go back to the resources. Within, the firms go to the product goes to the household. Oh, this is resource market. So the resource market goes to the household. The household goes to the product market. Product market goes to the firm goes to the resource market. At the same time, the household goes to the resource market goes to the firm goes to the product market, and the product market goes to the household. Makes sense.
Let's look at the circular flow diagram in its entirety. So as discussed, we have two agents or actors in the economy. You have households and then you have firms. Okay. So they're represented as such. Now, we will assume that households will own the factors of production, and they will sell them or provide them to firms for the given incomes, and they're also buying in, consuming the goods and services. Okay. Now, firms, on the other hand, will be buying or hiring the factors of production, and they will use those factors of production to make or produce the goods and services. And subsequently, what do you do with the goods and services that you produce? You are selling them to the households.
They buy or hire the factors of production. What are the factors of production? It's a good callback. The factors of production. I have that somewhere. Hey Siri, what are the factors of production? to see the rest of the video.
So let's look at the firms for the given incomes, and they're also buying in, consuming the goods and services. Okay. Now, firms, on the other hand, will be buying or hiring the factors of production, and they will use those factors of production to make or produce the goods and services. And subsequently, what do you do with the goods and services that you produce? You are selling them to the households. Okay, so these are the two roles that these actors have. Now, let's start off with the market for factors of production. Households will, as we know, provide their factors of production. Land, labor, and capital